This show is brought to you by
Emirates Group sees record annual profit, and ADNOC Drilling Q1 profit rises 25%. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Farrage. Emirates Group, which includes Emirates Airline and Donata, has announced a record annual profit for the 2022-2023 fiscal year of $3 billion, and it says it's made a full recovery. Group revenue rose 81% to $32.6 billion. The group ended the fiscal year with its highest ever cash balance of $11.6 billion. Emirates Airline alone saw its most profitable year ever at $2.9 billion, compared with a $1.1 billion loss the year previous. ADNOC Drilling saw a 25% year-on-year surge in its Q1 net profit to $219 million, driven by its growing fleet of rigs and service offering expansion. Quarterly revenue reached $716 million, up 19% year-on-year, supported primarily by the offshore jackup rigs and oilfield services segments. EBITDA also rose 19% year-on-year to $333 million. Meanwhile, ADNOC Gas saw its Q1 net profit rise 9% year-on-year to reach $1.3 billion. Quarterly revenue reached $5.2 billion compared to the $6.2 billion pro forma adjusted revenue in the same period a year ago. EBITDA maintained a margin of 34% in Q1. Emirates saw its Q1 net profit drop 49% year-on-year to $6.5 million. Q1 revenue reached $389.4 million, down 1% year-on-year. EBITDA for the quarter dropped 9% to $41.7 million. Gross profit improved 4% year-on-year to $97.5 million in Q1, driven by consolidated growth in the international express business, with its MyUS acquisition providing a further boost. The Arab region is losing $9 billion in revenues annually due to corporate tax abuse by multinational corporations. That's according to the UN Economic and Social Commission for Western Asia. The practices include shifting profits away from countries where they make profits to lower their tax liability. SoftBank Group saw an annual net loss of over $7.2 billion after a hard year for the tech startup sector in which it's heavily invested. But the depth of the group's loss was reduced by unloading its stake in Alibaba. SoftBank's two vision funds saw $32 billion of losses. SoftBank took hits across a range of startup investments, from long-struggling WeWork to delivery service DoorDash. Honda saw its Q4 net profit drop 10% year-on-year, owing to a fall in China car sales and higher costs. The Japanese automaker says net profit for the quarter fell to $833.6 million. Honda says increases in various costs and weaker car sales in China weighed on the bottom line, despite a positive impact from a weaker yen. Meanwhile, Nissan's full-year net profit slightly topped estimates and offered an upbeat forecast for the current fiscal year, despite warning of challenging conditions ahead. The Japanese automaker said it logged a net profit of $1.6 billion for the year to March 2023. Gains were the result of sales improvements and cost-cutting, as well as favorable foreign exchange rate fluctuations. Support for Ukraine topped the agenda at G7 finance talks in Japan today, where officials weighed concerns ranging from banking uncertainty to U.S. debt default fears. U.S. officials arrived under the cloud of Washington's debt limit impasse, warning that a default risked catastrophe. Leaders also called for strengthening Russian sanctions evasion, starting with China. EU officials are already discussing halting exports of sensitive technologies to 8 Chinese companies over suspicions they're selling them to Russia. Let's take a look now at today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking. It reflects the overnight gains we saw on Wall Street, with our biggest winner today, Alphabet's Sergey Brin. He's up $3.2 billion with net wealth of $91.6 billion. Our second biggest winner today is his co-founder, Alphabet's Larry Page. He's up $3.4 billion with net wealth of $95.7 billion. And our third place winner is Jeff Bezos. He's up $3.5 billion with net wealth of $133.2 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest Billionaires news. And Adidas plans to sell some of the merchandise from its Yeezy partnership with Kanye West and donate the proceeds to international organizations. Officials say burning the goods wouldn't be a solution. Adidas terminated its partnership with the rapper and fashion designer in October after he made a series of anti-Semitic remarks. Millions of Yeezy brand shoes have been sitting in storage as the company decides what to do with the stock. I'm Ramia Farrage. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.